Thank you for joining on such short notice. We really appreciate it. This conference call is in relation to the news that we have released 1 hour ago. Please refrain your questions to this topic only. We are in our silent period and cannot address anything else. I will hand over to Khun Sigve. He will give you a brief. To ask questions, please raise your hand. I will call you as per queue and unmute you. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon and also good morning to those of you not being part of Asia. Just a brief summary of the information that two shareholders have sent out today. Earlier today, the company, we got a notification from Telenor that they have agreed with the company Arise to sell 24.95% of their shareholding in True to a price of 11.7 baht. Based on that, we sent out a stock release to the True shareholders, to the stock exchange in Thailand, and so did Telenor back in Norway. As you also know from the release, there is a put-call arrangement between the two parties that will expire in 2 years. Arise is a company fully owned by Kuchupasai Jagannath, the current chairman of the board of True. That company will then be the shareholder of True. At the same time, that company will also be the main shareholder of some other digital assets that you have in the CP group, being the data center company, being the True Money company, and also Wireless, plus some smaller companies. I will also be a part of the Arise company as with the title Executive Chairman of the Digital and the Technology group in that Arise company. So that is the news. This news does not affect the company as such. We will continue exactly with the business strategy we have talked to you about before, and also that we will go into more detail on when we launch our Q4 financials. Then we will talk about the 2026, but also the coming 2 years strategy for True. That strategy has been developed together with both Telenor as a shareholder, but also with Khun Supasai as the chairman of the board. So there will not be any change to that strategy. It will not be any change to the way True operates either. The management team will continue as is. I will continue as the group CEO, and in addition, as I said, also be a part of Arise as an owner's structure. When Telenor then goes down to around 5% ownership, they will remain being also a board member, having one board representative. So that's basically the short story. I'm not able to answer questions on behalf of Arise or on behalf of Telenor. But I'm free to answer on the other questions that you will have. But let me once again say that you should not see this as a change of neither the governance of True, nor the top management of True, nor the direction of True going forward. I think I'll leave it with that as an intro, and then we are open for Q&As.
Thank you, Sigve. The first person in line is Piyush. You can unmute yourself. You can also turn on your camera. I will once again request all of you, please make sure your questions are relevant to this topic today only. And please refrain from more than 2 questions. Thank you. Piyush? We can't hear you, Piyush. No?
We can't hear you. Are you muted?
Thank you.
Sorry, Piyush, we are going to move on to the next person. Maybe you can take some time to adjust your equipment. Then, Khun Pisut, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you for the call. 2 questions as you asked. The first one is just want to know that Khun Supachai and also Telenor, do they have any lock-up on the shares that you will transact, and for how long? This is my first question.
Yeah, the only answer I can give to that is what they have communicated, and that is a 2-year call put option, which means that after 2 years, Telenor will be out of the company completely. But any more details than that you need to ask the two shareholders about.
Okay, let me clarify a bit. You mean the put and call option? This is for the remaining 5% that Telenor holds, right? But the 24%, the amount of the shares that under the transaction, there's no any lock-up period. Am I correct on that?
This announcement is yet to be closed, the deal, due to some procedural processes. And that will take some weeks or a couple of months maybe before we can finally close the deal. And when that is done, then this share will be effective immediately.
Okay. Thank you, Khun Sigre. My second question is about the transaction price, which is 11.7, according to what Telenor said. It would be great if you can walk through that, how come that the price come up at 11.7. This is looked, I mean, it's a bit too early to sell to me, but I'm not sure what's your thought on that.
That one is a good question, but of course I do not have any thoughts on that. That is between the two shareholders and their negotiations. So that question you need to ask Telenor about.
Thank you, Khun Pisut. I will have to move on. Yes, thank you, Khun Pisut. Piyush, I believe your mic is working again? No, sorry, we cannot hear you.
Maybe you can type in your question on the comments, Piyush.
Yeah. Then let me move on to Ranjan. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for the call. Apologies, I'm going to keep my camera off. I'm working from home. I'm out sick. 2 questions. Firstly, is there going to be a tender offer? Second question is, a lot of the management and board members come from Telenor. Now that Telenor is exiting, possibly fully, what is the commitment of the management and the board members to be involved with True? Thank you.
Yeah, the first question, no, there is not a mandatory tender offer here. This is just a deal between the two shareholders. So as soon as I just said on the previous question, as soon as the deal is closed, then the share transfer will happen. On the second question, I do not have any plans to change any of the current management, regardless of which nationalities they have or where they come from. However, as you know, I have done changes in the management team over the last 9 months since I took over this group CEO position, and changes will come in the future also. So I'm not saying that everything will be exactly the same as forever, but as a part of this deal, there is no changes in management as a consequence of that.
Sorry, if I can just have a quick follow-up. Any of the management team who are on a secondment or on the payroll of Telenor, where they might have to move back to Telenor?
As I said, yes, there are some in the management team that are seconded from Telenor and are on the expat contract. However, I do not, as the deal is such, does not require me to change any of them. So that will be a dialogue that I will have with them. I've hopefully will convince them to stay on and continue to do exactly what we plan to do for this year and the coming years. So there is no plan to change any of them because they are seconded from Telenor.
Okay, thank you. But the board structure will change, I'm guessing.
Yes, the board structure will change. So Rice will then have board members, and Telenor will keep their one board member. CP will have board members, and then Telenor, after the closure of this deal, will have one board member until they are completely exited.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjan. Piyush, one last try. No, sorry, Piyush. He sent his questions to me. Hi. Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Apologies for that. And sorry, this may be repetitive because I was trying to solve my audio and I didn't hear a lot of your earlier response. What led Telenor to exit once the dividends have started, and any changes in management and governance structure, and particularly on the governance side, how will things change? Secondly, any changes in your strategy, go-to-market, and would True Digital Wallet and data center, those will be merged into True, or you will focus at the listed level only on the three segments which you have currently?
Yeah, third question first. Well, I'm not a Telenor personally in this sense. I'm employed by CP Group, and I'm seconded from both the two shareholders to be a CEO in True. So I cannot answer Telenor questions. So you have to ask Telenor about why they found it right to sell their shares at this time. To the second question, no, the change in governance will be a change in the composition of the board. As I said, CP will have a board representatives. Arise, the new acquirer of the Telenor shares, will also have board representatives. Channel Mobile will have one board representative, and Telenor will have one as long as they keep their 5% shareholding. Other than that, there will not be any changes. I will be the group CEO, as I have been the last 9 months. And I plan to keep the structure as it is now, and also the team as it is now. So there is nothing that is being triggered of changes in the terms of the way we operate the company because of this deal. The second question, no, the True IDC and the True Money or the Ascent Money and also Wire Wireless will not be a part of True. Those are assets that are going to be owned by Arise, but I will also have a role on the Arise level to help managing those companies.
Okay. And in terms of capital allocation, like whatever you have communicated in the past, that kind of remains similar in terms of strategy going forward?
Yes. Do not expect any strategic changes. Do not expect any capital allocation changes. Do not expect any financial policy changes because of this deal. All that we have communicated to you guys have been in close cooperation with the chairman of the board, so he's fully backing that, and so no change of that because of this change in shareholding.
And if I may ask one thing, like how is Arise funding this acquisition?
That you have to ask Arise about. I don't have visibility to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Piyush. Next in line, we have Kun Marapap. I'm going to allow your mic in a second. Yes, Kun Marapap, you can unmute yourself. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. 2 questions for me. The first one is about, I'm not sure whether by losing Telenor as major shareholder, if I may, would affect something like debt headroom, credit line, credit rating facilities from whatever Telenor has been helping us in getting from European banks or something like that. Also the asset procurement or whatever that we take advantage from Telenor too. Would that change?
No, to the first question, no. Because Telenor has not really been involved in that. That's handled by our treasury department in True. So I don't see any changes in the way we handle our debt or do the restructuring of our debt or the refinancing. And as I said, no change in the financial policy either. When it comes to the procurement services that we are getting from Telenor, that is a service we have bought from Telenor, utilizing their procurement company. And going forward, we will look for opportunities to continue to have service contracts with people that can help us to do procurement cheaper and better. So there's no change to any of this.
All right. My second question on tender offer things. I know that this time they bought already 24.9 each of the stake, but theoretically for next time that they add another 5% into Arise, that would technically surpass the 25%, right? Should we expect the tender at that point in stake? Theoretically.
Yeah, it's a theoretical question, but I cannot answer a theoretical question, partly because that is 2 years front of us, but also because that's an issue that you have to talk to Arise about, not to the management.
Okay. Just one follow-up, please. About the call put option, it's exercisable from either parties, right?
Well,
since it's call and put.
It is a call and put. So it is exactly what the meaning of a call and put is.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Panarappa. There are questions in the chat box which have already been answered by Khun Sigve, so I'm not going to touch upon them. Next up, Khun Jean. I have just allowed your mic. You can please unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi. Thank you, Noreen. I have two questions. True has become much more rational after the merger, and now if this deal goes through, there's going to be change in board of director. Do you think is there any possibility that there would be policy change, maybe not immediate change, but over the long term? And then second question is that you provided the long-term guidance looking forward for the next 4 or 5 years. You think that guidance is still valid under the new board of director? Thank you.
The short answer to your question is no. Let me give a little bit longer answer. I think that during the amalgamation, both the two shareholders with the management were very, very focused on profitability of this company. And that is what we have communicated now for several quarters in a row, including the third quarter when we paid dividends for the first time. That is going to continue. That I'm 100% sure about. What should I call it? A stable, foreseeable financial policy, which is paying dividend at the same time continue to bring down the leverage of the debt, also the debt leverage. That's going to be continued. And this we have discussed with the shareholder board several times. So I don't expect that to change at all. When it comes to the guidance, yes, the guidance that we have given you is going to stand, and we have given you guidance both on bringing down the gearing, but also on the capital to sales ratio. However, when we present our Q4 numbers, we will then guide for the coming 3 years period. And again, that's not going to be related to this deal, but that's going to be related to how the management see the business progressing.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Khun Jean. Khun Vasu, I just allowed your mic. You can unmute yourself.
Hi. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you for the call. And my first question is about the procurement services that Khun Sigve just mentioned. Do I understand correctly that True will continue to use the Telenor's procurement services?
What I said is that we have been using the TPC of the Telenor Procurement Company services since amalgamation. And that is a service contract that we decided to make with them. We will at any time look for similar service contracts. It can be with that company, it can be with other companies. So there's nothing in this deal that neither change that or continue that. So this is just an arrangement we have with them as a service partner, as we have with many others. And we will continue to look for the best partnership to bring the procurement process as good as and low cost as possible.
Okay. Thank you. And the second question is about the status of the top executives at True at the moment. Like, for example, I understand that Khun Sigve is a True's employee. How about other executives like Khun Naku, Khun Charat, Khun Karum, Khun Akon, and Khun Chow? Are they all True's employees, or are some of them still Telenor's employees?
Yeah, well, we were quite specific, so let me also be specific in the answer. Khun Chow, the head of AI, is a True employee. Has nothing to do with Telenor. Kong Håkon, it's also a true employee, has nothing to do with Telenor. Kong Sharad, Kong Kurum as the head of network, and Kong Nakul, they are Telenor secondees, meaning on the Telenor contract. I hope that all three of them can stay on. That is my plan, and I don't foresee any changes in that.
Okay, thank you. That's very clear.
Thank you. I will take one question from the chat box. Please, I missed this one. This is from Khun Supachai from Yonta Securities. What is the condition of call option for 5.35%?
The only thing I can say there is what Telenor is saying in their own release. They are saying that, I think they are saying that the highest of the 11.7 price and the market price at that time. That is the price mechanism that I have. That's the only condition I know.
Okay. Then I move on to Ivati. I am allowing your mic right now. You should be able to unmute.
Hello. Hi. Going back to Ranjan's question on the tender offer, can you help us understand, because in total 30% plus 24.9 will be under CP/different entities, how come there is no tender offer that will be triggered?
Because the way you described this is not correct. This is not Arise is not a CP company. It's a company 100% owned by Khun Supachai as an individual. And so there is no active concern or no link between those two companies. Of course, Khun Supachai is a part of the family in the CP, but he's not, the CP has no ownership in Arise. So that's why you cannot add those two shareholdings together. And that's why this doesn't trigger a mandatory tender offer.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification.
Okay, next we have Khun Kittisorn. You should be able to unmute now.
I have just one question. Do we need to concern about, regulatory issue from this transaction? Okay, I understand that Arise not owned by CP Group, but Khun Supachai is executive of the CP Group, and now after the transaction, CP Group, let's say like now becoming a major shareholder, and it no longer equal partnership anymore. So anything that we need to concern on the regulatory front? That's my questions.
No, there is nothing in the telecom regulator that is regulating this. So the answer to that is no.
Okay. Khun Bisut, you should be able to unmute.
Yes. Thanks for another opportunity. I have follow-up questions on.
Khun Bisut, I'm sorry, you have to speak up. Cannot hear you.
Okay. Is better?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for another opportunity. I have follow-up questions on your strategy. That Khun Siwe already mentioned that it's going to be the same, but the same that I just want to be a bit clarified on that. At the moment, True has not invested into the data center and other new business like financial services or fintech like virtual bank, and also the other retail business, or even your content strategy has a bit, different from your competitor at the moment. You think without Telenor and with the full control of the CP family, this is going to be changed in the future? Thank you.
So I cannot answer for the entire future. But what I can say is that we are definitely not going to invest in the data center business, because that is a separate company. And we are not going to invest in the fintech business either, or the virtual license that you mentioned. That's also that different CP company. So that's very clear. And you should not expect any major change in the asset that you should be holding. We are very focused now on the mobile business. We are trying to do better on the online business and also on the B2B business. In addition, yes, we have some TV business and also some digital assets, which we are trying to grow value in a better way. But don't expect us to to change very much in the foreseeable future when it comes to this. There's no signals that at all is more actually alignment to continue to drive value out of what we have.
Thank you, Khun Pisut. We have 5 minutes left. I will ask Khun Paripap to come next, and this will be the last question. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the call. I have 2 questions. Sorry to come a little bit late, but I want to clarify that when this transaction gonna happen between Telenor and Khun Supachai company, and if it affected, it means the board gonna be changed immediately, or it's gonna be gradually changed in a board? That's my first question.
Yeah, as I said, the deal is yet to be closed, and there are some few conditions to that. I expect that to take 1 or 2 months to finalize, and then the deal will be closed. And then immediately after the closure, there will be a change to the board.
Right. My last question is on the strategy going forward. I don't know whether after Khun Supachai come, all the things that True just focus like cost reduction, paying dividend, is going to be the same or it's going to be changed under Khun Supachai's leadership?
Well, remember, let me just repeat what I already said. Khun Supachai has been the chair of the board throughout the amalgamation. And it is still those 3 years we have behind us that the financial strategy of True has been laid out. So this is not only a Telenor drive in the company or in the board. This is also fully anchored with Khun Supachai and CP directors. Which means that you should not expect any change in what we have said. And what we have guided very clearly on is that we want now this company to continue to pay a predictable, sustainable dividend. And we also want the company to generate enough profitability to take down the debt, down to a gearing level that we also have guided on. So don't expect any changes to that. And again, this has been fully aligned with Khun Supachai, even with the shareholding that we had. So I don't think that the Telenor say of their shareholding here will trigger any changes to any of that.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Piyush, maybe you have the last question, then we have to close.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity again. Sigve, you mentioned that certain senior management is from Telenor, secondly. So is there any contractual period for them at the moment? How long they're tied up with True? And if I may ask, kind of your aspirations and if you have any contractual obligation also, to be a group CEO.
No, I don't have any contractual obligation as a group CEO. I took this job because I want to create True as a great company, and we have started with that, and I think we are progressing well, and we will talk more about that when we announce our Q4. And I'm going to stay on, so there is no contract end to my assignment here. When it comes to the 3 expats or Telenor people in the management team, yes, there are contractual ends to that, but that is not immediate. That is some time. And I will now have a discussion with all 3 of them, because I think all 3 of them really have values to Telenor, to the True company, and I would like them to stay on, regardless on the strategy shareholder.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry, Piyush, we are running out of time. I really have to close now.
Okay.
Just for everyone to know, thank you. Once again, we really appreciated you joined on such short notice. Anybody who has questions unanswered, please get in touch with me. Khun Nakul and I will be at the City Conference taking place in Bangkok on Friday, so you can come and meet us there.
Tomorrow.
Sigve tomorrow. And Kunsikwe and Kunnakul and I will also be in Singapore next week. For those of you who would like to meet us, please reach out to me. I'll arrange it. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you for joining on such short notice.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.